You're with Campus Vote Selections 2014, the first of its kind video series on businessstandard.com, where we're going to try and catch the political pulse of the young in India as India goes to vote. The past few months have seen hectic debate in the print media, in television, about the various candidates in fray, about politics in general. But has the voice of the youth been heard? What are some of their key concerns? Have they been taken on board? And if politicians really haven't spoken about this, can they afford not to, considering that this is really a pivotal constituency this time around with more than 12 crore first-time voters? Those are some of the questions and issues we're going to be debating and discussing with this brilliant crowd of students at the Indian School of Business in Hyderabad. Joining us is also one of the faculty members, Professor Siddharth Singh. Let's in fact figure out what some of those issues and concerns are. And if, Siddharth, you can set the tone for this, what do you think are some of the key concerns that are bothering the youth this time around?
What I've heard from a lot of them is, one, clearly there is an issue of corruption. There is then the issue of governance. Things don't move. And I think most important is the economy. But at least for the students here, at least people I've interacted, these three would be the primary issues.
Right. And if you guys could just raise your hands on how many of you are actually worried about the job scenario? Okay, and what exactly is it that worries you? Do you think you probably not get something that matches your salary expectations, that matches your education level?
It goes back to how businesses function, right? I mean, if you don't let them function the way they're supposed to, then planning for human resources becomes a challenge as well. So, and right now, given the current scenario, given the way the regulatory bodies are moving and retroactive, actions being implemented by governments, a lot of them are a little hesitant in terms of hiring, and that sort of percolates down to every other graduate looking to, pass out of an MBA program. So I think that sort of scenario is sort of causing a little bit of a slowdown in terms of
moving forward. Development is going to be, and economic reform is going to be a key issue in the minds of the voter, because jobs is where the focus of the youth will be.
Right. And if economy really is the big issue, who among, let's say the troika in the Indian national political stage do you guys, between an Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, who among them inspires most confidence in you? Just a voice vote of sorts. Modi. Why Modi? What do you think he'll do?
I think he's done some fantastic work in Gujarat, and we're hoping that model can be replicated across India. Of course, you'll have to account for India's various nuances, but I think there's a lot of scope and there's a lot of hope that's built around him coming into power. And in the past, the BJP has had a general more open economy policies, and that we saw during the NDA regime how Vajpayee created a whole lot of infrastructure for development, and that helped. So I think we're hoping a little bit of that also rubs off in the next tenure of the NDA.
I think the focus on infrastructure which the BJP had in their Vajpayee government is probably going to come back if a BJP-led government is going to come. One other small point though, we tend to equate Kejriwal, Modi and Rahul. I somehow believe that Kejriwal is not yet there on the national level, and I don't think he is a viable potential PM candidate right now. So I think the discussion should predominantly be between Modi and Rahul in a way.
All right, we'll talk about Kejriwal and Rahul in just a bit, but any contrarian views on Narendra Modi? Anybody who has a contrarian view?
So I'm really surprised by the way the entire campaign is going ahead, because NDA has been in power from 1999 to 2004. So during the entire campaign, Narendra Modi is trying to show his credentials of Gujarat, but he's never trying to emphasize on the development that India has done from 1999 to 2004, which is more important. So during the entire campaign, there is not even a single word about Vajpayee. I mean, once in a while he's talking about Vajpayee, but that is a concern to me.
I agree, for the overriding population of business school students and a lot of Indian middle class, economy is a central issue. And it's like the BJP campaign or the Narendra Modi campaign is reminiscent of what the Clinton campaign tried to do in the 90s and say it's about the economy, stupid. But in a pluralistic and such a such a difficult society like India, where there are a lot of different castes and communal problems, it's not just the economy, stupid. It's just not that simple. and the idea that we are trying to reduce the entire campaign to down some comparison of what is the possible growth rate two regimes will give us is just it's just ludicrous.
Right. So, I mean, do you agree with that? Because, the other side of the view is that, Narendra Modi has a very clear sort of ideological bias. He has a top-down, growth approach, pro-big business. But what's your take on this, sort of larger, inclusive growth agenda that a lot of, left-leaning economists would argue about?
Right. So I think you started by saying how this election is fundamentally different from any other election that's happened in India so far. And I agree, because today, even the youth, at least even from a business school as premium as this, people are not myopic in the reasons why they vote these days. It's not only about what will help them. So my vote will not be cast on the basis of whether I will have a cushy job 5 years down the line. My vote will also depend on the fact whether my friend who is from a community which is different from mine, does he feel safe being represented by the person that who a lot of people are pitching to represent us in the future.
So how many of you are actually worried about things beyond the economy? Issues. The binaries created around political parties like secular versus communal. Are any of you ideologues? Do you think ideology matters? Do you think things beyond the economy and jobs matter when you're choosing a government?
The one thing I love about being Indian is the fact that our constitution gives everybody an equal right to life, to services, to society. It's inclusive. And any political party, and I'm not pointing fingers because I think all of them have fairly shady past, which betrays that fundamental right of a human being to life and equality, concerns me. So secularism is something which is very high on my agenda, and it is something that is truly worrying me in this election.
Yeah, I think there's one point that I'd like to add on issues that actually pertain to me on besides the economy. I think simple stuff like sanitation, healthy roads, good roads, and ensuring that people are safe from crimes against women. These are, I think, more centralized and specific issues which any political party that stands for election should be considered about and should certainly include in their itinerary of things that they are going to be doing for the society over the next 5 years.
Right, and apart from the manifestos of these parties which do talk about these things, do you think there's enough of a discourse on these real issues, or do you think the media, you may blame the media, or do you think in general this election has become more of a personality versus personality kind of a contest?
So I do think that it has become a personality versus personality kind of a contest, with it just being a battle between Kejriwal, Modi, and Rahul Gandhi. But having said that, AAP did come to power in the recent elections that happened in Delhi, which I think has made the middle class more aware about what is happening around them and what they need to do in order to elect a government which will fulfill their expectations.
Anybody who thinks that, he spoke about the Aam Aadmi Party, anybody who thinks that, Arvind Kejriwal has probably lost his mojo, probably lost his credibility because he walked out of Delhi.
I definitely don't think Kejriwal has lost his mojo. It seems like a definite next step for him. He was a local party, state party, and now he wants to be a national party. And his platform resonates, especially with urban India. And he's taking his message to the rest of the country, which is, I think, a natural next step for him.
I think he's done a good job bringing certain issues to the forefront. But my only concern with him is Kejriwal's been a bureaucrat all his life, right? And he views corruption as a fundamental issue, and it's an issue that everybody cares about. But for India as a country, there's so much bureaucracy that corruption eventually is bound to creep into the system, because there's so much arbitrary power, arbitrary decision making with so many entities. So my concern is, as a bureaucrat, where is your incentive to tone down the power of the bureaucracy? And this is where policy paralysis and everything else feeds into, right? When will things just be easier for me? Like, if I want a license, right, even if I don't pay a bribe or don't do anything wrong, why should it be so hard for me to get a passport?
This election is going to be very, very interesting for Andhra Pradesh because of the bifurcation issue. You're going to be voting as a united state and then, bifurcating into two. Any thoughts about the whole Telangana issue? Any localites out here who might want to...
So I'm from Telangana. So one thing I would like to share is that Telangana was actually never part of Andhra Pradesh, first to say, because before 1956, if you take, Telangana was a separate state altogether. So the experimentation of a combined state for 56 years hasn't worked out. So the demand was very genuine, and I think bifurcation is also very genuine, and I'm sure people in Seemandhra will realize that very soon.
Right. Anybody else? Because, what we've also seen in Andhra Pradesh is the emergence of, smaller parties, film star-driven parties with the two major parties, the Congress and the TDP, actually getting pushed towards the periphery. How do you look at this sort of, this fracture that's come in?
I think the reason why there have been multiple parties that formed in the last few years also was because the decision of Telangana was not taken. Now that the decision has been made, I think it's clarifying, it's clearing a lot of clouds. People also are sure about who they want to vote to right now. I think gradually we are going to see different political parties coming to power in both Telangana and Andhra, and people becoming more and more clear about which option is probably the one they want to go with.
And what do you hope this new polity will do to the city of Hyderabad?
I am optimistic. I do believe that the split will not affect the city of Hyderabad significantly. In the short term, there will probably be a few issues that you'll need to sort out. But I think in the long term, it's a good thing both for Hyderabad and also the state to separate out. In fact, it's I think a good thing for both the states because they're going to grow separately and they're going to take care of themselves.
All right, and last question. How many of you actually believe that post these elections in the next 1 or 2 years, things would have improved, that the economy would have improved, that we would have gone, from step A to step B? Or do you think the expectations this time around are just too high?
There's a very high probability of a fractured mandate. And I think, it is very likely that will ensure that next 2 years could be very bumpy. So, I expect that to happen.
Right. So we've had a very sort of pluralistic audience out here, but as most people, they too do not want a fractured mandate, and everybody, it seems, is looking for a stable, decisive government that will take India to the next leap. Thanks very much for watching. We'll continue with this series, crisscrossing across various other B School campuses through the course of the next few months.